The Galactic Expedition. The vast expanse of space stretched out before the Galactic Union's flagship, the Stellar Seeker. Captain Zix, a tall, slender alien with iridescent scales and 4 arms, stood at the helm, his compound eyes fixed on the view screen. The excitement among the crew was palpable as they approached their destination, Earth, the long-lost homeworld of humanity. 500,000 years, Zix mused, his voice a melodic trill. 500,000 years since the humans vanished without a trace. And now, we're the first to brave their solar system in millennia. His second in command, Vela, a being of pure energy contained within a translucent exosuit, pulsed with anticipation. The stories about this system, Captain, do you think there's any truth to them? Zix chittered, a sound that might have been a laugh. Superstitions, nothing more. The humans are gone, Vela. Whatever made other expeditions fail or disappear, it wasn't them. As the Stellar Seeker entered the edges of Earth's solar system, the crew began their scans. Pluto, Neptune, Uranus, all passed without incident. But as they approached the inner planets, something changed. Captain, called out Krell, the ship's sensor officer, his tentacles waving in agitation. I'm picking up strange energy readings from the direction of Earth. Zix leaned forward, intrigued. What kind of readings? It's like nothing I've ever seen before, Krell admitted. Highly advanced technology, but it doesn't match any known signatures in our database. The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. Earth was supposed to be a dead world, a tomb for a long-lost civilization. But these readings suggested otherwise. As they passed Mars, the ship's alarms suddenly blared to life. Red warning lights bathed the bridge in an ominous glow. Multiple objects detected, Krell shouted. They're moving to intercept us. On the view screen, a swarm of sleek, silver objects appeared, seemingly materializing out of nowhere. They moved with impossible speed and precision, surrounding the Stellar Seeker in seconds. Evasive maneuvers, Zix ordered, but it was too late. A blinding light engulfed the ship, and for a moment, everything went dark. When the systems came back online, Zix found his ship immobilized, held in place by an unseen force. By the cosmic core, Vela whispered, her energy form flickering with fear. What are they? As if in answer, one of the silver objects approached. It was smaller than the Stellar Seeker, but radiated power beyond anything the alien crew had ever encountered. A holographic projection appeared before them, displaying a series of complex symbols. It's a language, said Lynn, the ship's linguist, her antennae twitching as she studied the symbols. Ancient human language. Earth English, I believe. Can you translate it? Zix asked, trying to keep the tremor out of his voice. Lynn worked furiously, her many hands flying over the console. After a few tense moments, she looked up, her compound eyes wide with disbelief. It says, state your purpose, intruders. This system is under the protection of the Terran Defense Network. The bridge erupted in a cacophony of shocked exclamations. Zix raised all 4 of his hands, calling for silence. Impossible, he muttered. The humans have been gone for 500,000 years. How can their defenses still be active? Should we respond, Captain? Vela asked, her energy form pulsing rapidly. Zix nodded slowly. We must. Lynn, transmit this message. We are a peaceful expedition from the Galactic Union. We mean no harm and seek only to study the legacy of humanity. As Lynn sent the message, the silver objects remained motionless, their purpose inscrutable. Minutes passed, feeling like hours to the tense crew of the Stellar Seeker. Finally, another message appeared. Proceed with caution, Lynn translated. Any hostile action will result in immediate termination. The unseen force holding the ship dissipated, and the silver objects retreated, taking up positions at the edges of their sensors. Orders, Captain? Vela asked. Zix stared at the blue-green orb of Earth, now visible on their view screen. What they had discovered here today would change the galaxy forever. The humans might be gone, but their legacy lived on in ways no one could have imagined. "We proceed," Zix said firmly, "but carefully. Whatever secrets Earth holds, they are clearly beyond our current understanding. We must be prepared for anything." As the stellar seeker cautiously approached Earth, the crew couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched, evaluated. The humans may have vanished, but their presence still lingered, as powerful and mysterious as ever. Little did they know, their arrival had set in motion events that would soon shake the very foundations of the galaxy. The legacy of humanity was about to be revealed, and nothing would ever be the same again. Unveiling the hidden fleet. As the stellar seeker entered Earth's orbit, the crew was struck by the planet's haunting beauty. Blue oceans, green landmasses, and swirling white clouds painted a picture of a world teeming with life. Yet, according to all their scans, the surface was devoid of any intelligent activity. "It's pristine," Vela murmured, her energy form pulsing with awe, as if humanity never existed at all. Captain Zix nodded, his scales shifting colors with his changing emotions. "And yet, we know they were here. The defense system proves that." "Krell, what are our scans showing?" The sensor officer's tentacles danced over his console. "Captain, I'm detecting massive underground structures all over the planet. They're shielded, but there's no mistaking their artificial nature." "Any signs of current activity?" Zix pressed. Krell hesitated. "It's strange, sir. The structures appear dormant, but there are power signatures, faint but present, as if they're in some kind of standby mode." Zix made a decision. "We need to get a closer look. Prepare a landing party. We'll start with the largest structure, located in what the humans once called North America." As the landing shuttle descended through Earth's atmosphere, the alien explorers couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. They were about to set foot on a world that had been the subject of myths and legends for 500,000 years. The shuttle touched down in a vast, empty plain. Grass swayed gently in the breeze, and in the distance, snow-capped mountains pierced the sky. There was no sign of the advanced civilization that had once called this planet home. Zix led the way, his environmental suit gleaming in the sunlight. Vela floated beside him, her energy contained within a specially designed field. Krell, Lin, and the ship's chief engineer, a silicon-based life form named Grak, followed close behind. "The entrance should be just ahead," Krell said, consulting his handheld scanner. "Beneath that hill." As they approached, the ground suddenly began to tremble. The hill split open, revealing a massive metal door that slowly slid aside. The aliens froze, weapons at the ready, but nothing emerged from the dark opening. It recognized our presence," Lin said in disbelief. "The defense system must have informed the facility of our arrival." Cautiously, the group entered the underground structure. As soon as they crossed the threshold, lights flickered to life, illuminating a vast, cavernous space filled with sleek, otherworldly technology. "By the cosmic core," Grak whispered, his crystalline body reflecting the lights. "This technology, it's centuries beyond anything we have in the Galactic Union." They'd made their way deeper into the facility, marveling at the strange machines and holographic displays that sprang to life around them. Lin worked tirelessly to translate the human writing that appeared, providing context to their discoveries. "This place," she said, her antennae twitching with excitement, "it's called Project Safeguard. From what I can gather, it was humanity's ultimate failsafe." "Failsafe against what?" Vela asked. Before Lin could answer, they entered a truly massive chamber. As lights slowly came on, revealing its contents, the alien explorers felt their various hearts skip a beat. Stretching as far as the eye could see were rows upon rows of colossal starships. Each one was easily 10 times the size of the stellar seeker, bristling with weapons and technology that defied comprehension. It's a fleet," Zix breathed, his scales shifting to a pale blue of shock. "An entire hidden fleet." Krell's tentacles worked furiously over his scanner. "Captain, I'm detecting thousands of ships. And this is just one facility. There are dozens more like it all over the planet." As they stood there, trying to process the scale of what they were seeing, a holographic image suddenly materialized before them. It showed a human figure, a male with graying hair and a stern expression. "Greetings, explorers," the figure said, its voice translated in real time by their communicators. "I am Admiral Thaddeus Chen, or rather, an AI construct based on his memories. You have discovered humanity's last line of defense, the Sentinel Fleet." The alien crew exchanged glances of shock and awe. They were actually communicating with a human eye, a remnant of a long-lost civilization. What is the purpose of this fleet?" Zix managed to ask. The hologram's expression turned grim. "To safeguard not just humanity, but all sentient life in the galaxy. You see, we didn't disappear. We ascended. But in doing so, we learned of a threat so great that we could not ignore it, even in our new form of existence." The chamber hummed with power, and suddenly, the colossal ships began to come to life. Lights flickered on, engines thrummed, and weapons systems charged. "Your arrival has triggered the awakening protocol," Admiral Chen's AI explained. "The threat we prepared for is imminent. The Sentinel Fleet must be mobilized." As the massive ships began to rise, breaking through the Earth's crust and soaring into the sky, the alien explorers realized they had stumbled upon something far greater than a mere archaeological discovery. They had become witnesses to the rebirth of humanity's power and purpose in the galaxy. The Sentinel Fleet, hidden for 500,000 years, was about to change the course of galactic history, and the crew of the Stellar Seeker found themselves at the very heart of a cosmic storm that had been brewing for eons. The legacy of humanity. As the Sentinel Fleet rose into Earth's atmosphere, breaking through clouds and soaring past satellites that had lain dormant for millennia, Captain Zix and his crew stood in awe. The sheer scale of the operation was beyond anything they had ever imagined. "Captain," Vela's energy form pulsed urgently. "The Stellar Seeker is hailing us. The rest of the Galactic Union fleet has arrived in response to our distress call." Zix nodded, his scales shimmering with a mix of excitement and apprehension. "We need to inform them of the situation immediately. The appearance of this human fleet could be misinterpreted as an act of aggression." As they rushed back to their shuttle, the holographic image of Admiral Chen flickered into existence beside them. "Your allies must be warned, Captain Zix. The threat we face concerns all sentient life in the galaxy. We will need to form an alliance unlike any seen before." Back aboard the Stellar Seeker, Zix found himself in the unenviable position of explaining the situation to not only his own crew, but also to the commanders of the newly arrived Galactic Union ships. "A human fleet? Impossible!" exclaimed Admiral Kor of the Zentari, his holographic image flickering with indignation. "The humans have been gone for 500,000 years. This must be some sort of trap." "I assure you, Admiral, it is very real," Zix replied calmly. "And if what we've learned is true, this fleet may be our only hope against a threat none of us knew existed." As debates raged among the Galactic Union leadership, the AI construct of Admiral Chen requested permission to address the gathered aliens. Reluctantly, they agreed. The human hologram stood tall, its presence commanding even across the vast distances of space. "Esteemed leaders of the Galactic Union, I understand your confusion and fear, but I must impress upon you the gravity of our situation." Chen's image was replaced by a series of holographic displays, showing star charts and ancient battle footage. 500,000 years ago, as humanity prepared to transcend our physical forms, we discovered a terrible truth. An ancient race, long thought extinct, was stirring in the depths of intergalactic space. The aliens watched in horror as the displays showed entire galaxies being consumed by a tide of darkness. "We called them the Void Heralds," Chen continued. "A species so old and so powerful that they view the rise and fall of entire civilizations as mere moments in time. They feed on the very essence of sentient life, and they have set their sights on our galaxy. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of shocked exclamations and fearful murmurs. Zix raised his hands, calling for silence. "Admiral Chen, why did humanity not warn the rest of the galaxy of this threat before they ascended?" Chen's hologram reappeared, his expression grave. "We tried, Captain, but our warnings were seen as the ravings of a species on the brink of extinction. No one believed us. So we made a choice. We would transcend, but we would also leave behind a legacy. The Sentinel fleet, hidden and protected, waiting for the day when it would be needed most." As the implications sank in, the mood among the alien leaders shifted from skepticism to a grim understanding. They were facing an enemy beyond their comprehension, and their only hope lay in the legacy of a species they had long thought lost. Vela, who had been analyzing the data provided by the human eye, suddenly spoke up. "According to these calculations, the Void Heralds will reach our galaxy within a matter of months. We don't have much time to prepare." Admiral Kor, his earlier skepticism replaced by determination, leaned forward. "What do you propose, Admiral Chen? How can we hope to fight an enemy that consumes entire galaxies?" Chen's hologram smiled, a glimmer of hope in his digital eyes. "The Sentinel fleet is more than just ships and weapons, Admiral. It carries within it the collective knowledge and technology of humanity at its peak. Defenses against the Void Herald's energy-draining abilities, weapons capable of disrupting their very essence, and most importantly, a way to detect and track their movements." As Chen spoke, the Sentinel fleet assembled in Earth's orbit, a breathtaking array of sleek, silver ships that dwarfed even the largest Galactic Union vessels. "But the fleet cannot be crewed by our eye alone," Chen continued. "We need living, thinking beings to make the decisions that will determine the fate of our galaxy. We need you, all of you, to take up this mantle." The alien leaders exchanged glances, centuries of mistrust and political maneuvering giving way to a shared sense of purpose. This was a moment that would define the future of all sentient life in the galaxy. Captain Zix stepped forward, his scales shimmering with determination. "I volunteer to lead the first joint crew, Admiral Chen. My team and I have already seen firsthand the wonders of human technology. We stand ready to defend our galaxy." One by one, other leaders voiced their support. Admiral Kor of the Zentari, his earlier skepticism forgotten, pledged his most experienced warriors. The Lumina Collective offered their unparalleled expertise in energy manipulation. Even the reclusive Gorn Empire, known for their isolationist policies, agreed to share their advanced shielding technology. As the impromptu alliance took shape, Admiral Chen's hologram nodded in approval. "This is exactly what we hoped for. Unity in the face of annihilation. Now we must prepare. The Void Heralds will not be easily defeated." Over the next few weeks, Earth became a hub of frenetic activity. Alien ships swarmed around the planet, their crews training to operate the advanced human technology. The Sentinel fleet, dormant for 500,000 years, hummed with newfound energy as diverse species worked together to unlock its secrets. Captain Zix found himself at the center of it all, coordinating efforts between the various alien factions and the human eye constructs. It was a monumental task, but one that filled him with a sense of purpose he had never known before. One day, as he stood in the command center of the largest Sentinel ship, christened Humanity's Hope, Zix was approached by Vela. Her energy form pulsed with excitement. "Captain, we've made a breakthrough," she said. "We've managed to access more of the human historical archives. I think you need to see this." Intrigued, Zix followed her to a holographic display. As Vela inputted commands, a series of images flickered to life, showing scenes from humanity's final days on Earth. "We always assumed the humans simply vanished," Vela explained. "But look at this." The images showed massive crowds gathered in cities around the world. In the skies above, strange, shimmering portals opened. As Zix watched, Humans began to walk into these portals, their bodies dissolving into pure energy. They didn't just disappear, Zix breathed. They evolved, transcended their physical forms. Vela nodded. But that's not all. Watch this. The scene shifted to what appeared to be a high-security facility. A group of humans stood around a complex machine, their faces etched with determination. "This is Admiral Chen," Vela said, pointing to a figure Zix recognized from the AI hologram. "And this is the moment they created the AI constructs. They weren't just leaving behind technology, Zix. They were leaving behind a part of themselves." As they watched, the humans connected themselves to the machine. Energy flowed from their bodies into waiting receptacles, carrying with it the essence of their memories, personalities, and knowledge. They sacrificed their ascension, Zix realized, his voice filled with awe. At least, a part of it, to ensure that their legacy would have true guidance. The implications were staggering. The AI constructs they had been working with weren't just programs, but echoes of the very humans who had created this incredible fleet. As the recording ended, Admiral Chen's hologram appeared. "Now you understand," he said softly. "We gave up a piece of our transcendence to remain behind, in a form that could guide and assist when the time came. We are the bridge between what humanity was and what you must become to face the Void Heralds." Zix felt a newfound respect wash over him. The humans hadn't abandoned the galaxy. They had made the ultimate sacrifice to protect it. "Admiral," Zix said, straightening to his full height, "I swear to you, your sacrifice will not be in vain. We will face this threat together, and we will prevail." Chen's hologram smiled. "That's all we ever hoped for, Captain. Now let's prepare for the battle that will decide the fate of all life in our galaxy." As Zix turned to leave, ready to share this newfound knowledge with the rest of the Alliance, he couldn't help but feel a sense of destiny. The legacy of humanity had been unveiled, and with it, a chance for all sentient beings to rise together against the coming darkness. The stage was set for the greatest conflict the galaxy had ever known. The Void Heralds were coming, but they would find a united front waiting for them, armed with the best of humanity's ingenuity and the diverse strengths of 1,000 alien races. The war for survival was about to begin. The Awakening. The following months were a whirlwind of activity as the newly formed Galactic Defense Alliance prepared for the coming storm. Earth, once a silent monument to a vanished species, now buzzed with the energy of 1,000 different races working together towards a common goal. Captain Zix stood on the bridge of humanity's hope, the flagship of the Sentinel fleet. Around him, a diverse crew of aliens worked in harmony, their differences set aside in the face of impending doom. Vela's energy form pulsed steadily as she monitored the ship's advanced systems, while Krell's tentacles danced across the sensor array, ever vigilant for signs of the approaching threat. "Status report," Zix commanded, his scales shimmering with anticipation. Lin, now serving as the ship's communication officer, turned to face him. "All Sentinel ships report ready, Captain. The Galactic Union fleet is in position, and our long-range sensors are active." Zix nodded, a sense of pride washing over him. They had achieved so much in so little time. But would it be enough? Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. Krell's tentacles writhed in agitation as he called out, "Captain, we're detecting massive energy fluctuations at the edge of the galaxy." The main view screen flickered to life, showing a sea of stars. At first, nothing seemed amiss. Then, like a cancer spreading across the cosmos, patches of absolute darkness began to appear, swallowing light and matter alike. "By the cosmic core," Vela whispered, her energy form flickering with fear. "It's them, the Void Heralds." Admiral Chen's hologram materialized on the bridge, his face grim. "So it begins. Captain Zix, initiate Protocol Omega. It's time to awaken our final defense." Zix's scales paled. "Admiral, are you certain? We haven't had time to fully test the system. The risks. "Are necessary," Chen interrupted. "The Void Heralds are here sooner than we anticipated. We need every advantage we can get." With a heavy heart, Zix gave the command. Deep within the bowels of Earth, in bunkers that had lain dormant for 500,000 years, ancient machines hummed to life. Across the planet, hidden arrays began to glow with eldritch energy. In orbit, the crews of both alien and sentinel ships watched in awe, as Earth itself seemed to pulse with power. Streaks of blinding light shot from the planet's surface, converging at a point in space just beyond the moon's orbit. "What's happening?" Admiral Core demanded, his holographic image flickering with concern. Chen's hologram smiled, a mix of pride and sadness in his eyes. "The final gift of humanity, Admiral. We call it the Nexus." Before their eyes, a massive structure began to take shape. It was like nothing any of them had ever seen before. A swirling vortex of energy and matter contained within a framework of technology so advanced it seemed almost organic. "The Nexus," Chen explained, "is a bridge between dimensions, a way to tap into the very essence of the universe itself." And within it, as if on cue, the heart of the Nexus flared with blinding light. When it faded, countless points of light could be seen swirling within its depths. Each one pulsed with an inner radiance that seemed alive. Within it, Chen continued, his voice filled with emotion, "are the ascended consciousnesses of humanity." The bridge fell silent as the implications sank in. The humans hadn't just left behind technology and AI constructs. They had created a way for their ascended forms to return and join the fight. Zix found his voice first. "Admiral, are you saying that these are actual humans? The ones who transcended 500,000 years ago?" Chen nodded. "In a manner of speaking, yes. We exist now as pure energy, pure thought. But we've been watching, waiting for this moment. And now we can lend our power to your cause." As they watched, tendrils of energy began to stretch out from the Nexus, connecting to the Sentinel ships. Zix felt a surge of power unlike anything he had ever experienced before. The ship's systems, already incredibly advanced, now operated on a level that bordered on the miraculous. "This is incredible," Vela breathed, her energy form pulsing in sync with the new power flowing through the ship. "It's like the ship is alive." "In a way, it is," Chen explained. "Each Sentinel ship is now connected directly to multiple human consciousnesses. We will fight alongside you, guiding your actions, enhancing your abilities." But even as hope blossomed among the defenders, the encroaching darkness of the Void Heralds grew ever closer. The enemy had noticed the activation of the Nexus, and they were not pleased. Krell's voice cut through the moment of wonder. "Captain, the Void Heralds are accelerating their approach. They'll be upon us in minutes." Zix straightened, his scales shifting to a deep, determined blue. This was it, the moment that would decide the fate of all life in the galaxy. With the legacy of humanity at their backs, and the combined might of the galaxy's races at their side, they would make their stand. "All ships, battle formation," Zix commanded, his voice steady and strong. "This is not just for our individual races or planets. This is for all life, for the very future of our galaxy. Today, we fight as one." As the Sentinel fleet and their allies moved into position, the first tendrils of the Void Herald's awful darkness reached out towards them. The battle for existence was about to begin, and the awakened power of humanity would be put to the ultimate test. Humanity's last stand. The void of space erupted into a cacophony of light and energy as the combined forces of the Galactic Defense Alliance clashed with the nightmarish onslaught of the Void Heralds. The Sentinel fleet, powered by the ascended consciousness of humanity, formed the vanguard of the defense. Captain Zix stood at the helm of humanity's hope, his scales flickering with a kaleidoscope of colors as he processed the unfolding battle. The ship hummed with power, its every action guided by the collective wisdom of countless human minds. Evasive maneuvers, Zix commanded as a tendril of absolute darkness lashed out towards them. The ship responded with impossible speed and grace, narrowly avoiding the energy-draining attack. Vela's voice rang out, tinged with awe and fear. "Captain, the Void Heralds. They're unlike anything we've ever encountered. Our conventional weapons are barely slowing them down." As if to emphasize her point, a nearby Galactic Union cruiser was enveloped by the encroaching darkness. In a matter of seconds, its lights flickered and died, the ship now a lifeless husk drifting in space. "We need to use the Nexus," Zix declared, his voice firm. "Admiral Chen, how do we harness its full power?" The hologram of Chen appeared, his expression grim but determined. "The Nexus is more than just a power source, Captain. It's a focal point for the combined will of humanity. Direct your thoughts, your determination, your very essence towards it. We'll do the rest." Zix nodded, closing his compound eyes in concentration. Around him, he could sense his crew doing the same, alien minds reaching out to connect with the legacy of humanity. Suddenly, the ship surged with newfound energy. Weapons that had seemed ineffective moments before now blazed with unimaginable power. Beams of pure light lanced out from the Sentinel fleet, carving swaths through the Void Herald's darkness. "It's working," Krell exclaimed, his tentacles waving in excitement. "We're pushing them back." But the Void Heralds were ancient and powerful. They had consumed countless galaxies in their long existence, and they would not be denied so easily. The darkness seemed to coalesce, forming into monstrous shapes that defied description. Massive, world-eating maws opened in space, threatening to swallow entire fleets whole. "All ships, concentrate fire on the central mass," Zix ordered, his voice carrying across the entire Alliance fleet. The combined firepower of 1,000 races, enhanced by humanity's ascended knowledge, converged on the heart of the Void Herald swarm. For a moment, it seemed as if even this overwhelming assault would be swallowed by the darkness. But then, a crack appeared in the void, a fissure of light in the all-consuming black. "Press the attack." Admiral Kor's voice boomed across the communications channels. "Victory is within our grasp." As the battle raged on, Zix felt a strange sensation. It was as if he could sense the thoughts, the very essence, of every being fighting alongside him. Alien and human, physical and ascended, all were united in this moment of existential struggle. Lin's voice cut through his reverie. "Captain, I'm receiving a transmission from inside the Void Herald swarm." "On screen," Zix commanded, his curiosity overriding his caution. The view screen flickered to life, showing a sight that made even the battle-hardened captain recoil. It was a face, if such a term could be applied to the writhing mass of darkness and malevolent intelligence that addressed them. Insignificant motes, the Void Herald's voice reverberated through their minds, a sound of cosmic hunger and ancient malice. "Your struggle is futile. We are eternal. We are inevitable. All light must fade. All life must end." For a moment, fear gripped Zix's heart. How could they hope to defeat something so vast, so ancient, so utterly alien? But then, another voice spoke, not through the ship's communications, but directly into the minds of every defender. It was Admiral Chen, but not just him. It was the voice of humanity, of every human who had ever lived, who had ever dreamed of the stars. "We are humanity," the voice declared, filled with indomitable will. "We have faced extinction and transcended it. We have seen the depths of darkness and forged our own light. We stand here with the united races of our galaxy, and we say to you, no more. You shall not pass. You shall not feed. This galaxy, this life, is under our protection." As one, every ship in the Sentinel fleet began to glow with an inner light. The Nexus pulsed with power, sending waves of energy rippling through space. Every defender felt the strength of 1 billion human souls flow through them, filling them with courage and determination. Zix found himself speaking, his words echoing those of every captain in the fleet. "All ships, channel everything we have into the main weapon arrays. Fire at will. The darkness of space was banished as every ship unleashed its full power. Beams of energy, as bright as newborn stars, lanced out from the Allied fleet. They struck the Void Herald swarm with the combined will of an entire galaxy, the hopes and dreams of countless beings made manifest. The Void Herald's screech of defiance turned to one of pain and fear. For the first time in their ancient existence, they knew what it was to face a force that would not yield, would not be consumed. Fissures of light spread through the swarm, growing larger and brighter until, with a final, reality-shaking explosion, the Void Heralds were no more. The darkness that had threatened to engulf everything was gone, replaced by a soft, pulsing glow that spread out across the galaxy. As the light of victory washed over them, Zix felt a profound sense of change. The galaxy would never be the same again. The Allied races had stood together against an unimaginable threat and emerged victorious, and humanity, long thought lost, had returned to remind the cosmos of the strength that lay in unity, in the indomitable will to survive. "It's over," Vela whispered, her energy form pulsing with relief and awe. We actually did it." Zix nodded, his scales settling into a deep, satisfied blue. "No, my friend. It's not over. It's just the beginning." As the Allied fleet regrouped, as cheers and cries of victory echoed across 1,000 worlds, the ascended humans within the Nexus pulsed with newfound purpose. They had returned to save the galaxy, but in doing so, they had forged a new path forward. A future where the boundaries between races, between physical and ascended beings, no longer mattered. Humanity's last stand had become the galaxy's first step into a new age of unity and exploration. The legacy of Earth would live on, not as a memory of a lost civilization, but as the foundation of a grand, unified future for all sentient life. As humanity's hope led the victorious fleet back towards Earth, Captain Zix couldn't help but feel that they had just written the first chapter in a new, incredible story. The tale of how humanity's end had become the galaxy's new beginning.